And hello everyone, it's Mr. Bestfather again, and we're going to take a look at the gross debt service ratio. So this is lesson number 2 in the homes finance chapter. The gross debt service ratio, or the GDSR, is a guideline used to determine whether or not you can afford a particular mortgage payment for a particular home. And so it takes into account your income, as well as the typical heating costs for that home, as well as the property taxes for that home. So we'll take a look at the lesson now and see what kind of calculations we can make. In lesson 2, we're going to take a look at the GDSR, or what's known as the gross debt service ratio. And this is a ratio between your monthly housing costs and your total income. And as a general guide, 32% of our value, our GDSR, calculates to 32% or less. You're in a pretty good financial position. If it is 32% or more, then it's likely too great a value for your income to sustain. So the formula looks like this. The GDSR is your total housing costs, and then the fraction line means divided by your total income. So that's the idea behind it. Well, what do we call our housing costs? We include our monthly mortgage payment, we have monthly heating costs, and we have property taxes for the month. So if we take our monthly mortgage payment, add it to our monthly heating costs, and add it to the property taxes we need to pay each month, that would be our total housing costs. We'll divide that by our total gross income and look at that percentage. So here's our first example. A couple has a combined yearly income of $60,425.04. That's a very specific amount of money. They have the following housing costs. Their taxes for the year, the property taxes for the year, are $2,500. Their heating costs for the month are about $110 every month, and their mortgage payment is expected to be $750 per month. Let's calculate their gross debt service ratio. Okay. Well, typically we calculate things month by month. So we'll just jot that in here. This is often calculated on a monthly basis, So I'll just put that in a box so that we remember. So that means all of our calculations, or all our values, have to be on a monthly basis. So taxes is per year, so we're going to have to tweak that. Heating is a month, and a mortgage payment is a month. So let's quickly start with the taxes. So $2,500 divided by 12 months in a year is going to give me the dollars per month. So quick calculation here, 2,500 divided by 12 is $208.33. Okay, so piecing all three parts together, we have the mortgage payment, the heating costs, and the property taxes per month. So we'll start with the mortgage payment of $750. We're going to add the heating costs of about $110 per month, and the taxes we've now figured as $208.33. That's going to be our grand total, and we'll divide that total by our, oops, I jumped ahead of myself, by our monthly gross income. Well, here we have an annual gross income. So I'm going to have to do a quick adjustment here of this amount. I'll draw a little arrow to help us out. So $60,425.04 divided by 12 is going to be equal to, okay, what do we got? $60,425.04 is, oh yeah, divided by 12. That's what I need to do. Divided by 12 is 5,035.42. So 5,035, I'm missing a zero. Let me try that again. 5,035.42. Okay, sorry about that little detour. Back to our calculation. Mortgage, heating, property taxes, divided by $5,035.42. And what's this going to be equal to? Okay, so here we go. 750 plus 110 plus 208.33. Now I'm going to press equals because this is the value in the numerator, the top part of our what looks like a fraction. So that's 1,068 and 33. Divide that by $5,035.42. Now, so I have that value here. I divide by 5,035.42 makes 0.21. All right, 0.21. Now, 0.21 is the decimal value, keeping in mind that if we multiply this by 100 to make a percent, and that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to times it by 100 so that it's as a percent. So it's 21, and you can see there's an extra place, 21.2%. That is our gross debt service ratio. Now, 21% is far less than 32%. That is kind of like the threshold. We're below the threshold, so we're in a good position here for this person. They're going to be financially sound here. This is going to be a mortgage payment they can easily handle given their income. All right, so that's the first one. The second example, Bob wants to buy a house. Sorry, my desk is full of stuff here. I'm just going to move some stuff out of the way. All right, sorry about that. Bob wants to buy a house. He's told that he can have a maximum monthly payment of $800 when his gross debt service ratio is 32%. The combined monthly property taxes and heating costs for the house he wants to buy are $250. How much does Bob have to make, or maybe the word earn, every month to buy this house? Okay, so let's go back and rewrite the gross debt service ratio, the GDSR, or the gross debt service ratio calculation. Now there were three parts on the top. I'm going to abbreviate it. We had the mortgage payment plus the heating plus the property taxes divided by the gross income. Now, what parts do we know? We know that when this value, the gross debt service ratio, is 32%, okay, and we want to find the income, that's really the question mark. We were told his mortgage payment is $800, and that combining the heating and the property taxes is $250. So these two numbers together make $250. All right, so basically, we got to figure out what is on the bottom here. So there's a couple of ways we can solve this one. And I'm going to show you one way in this space here and show you another way in this space here. Now, one of my favorites, I'm going to draw a little dividing line here. One of my favorites is the fish technique, or what other people might say is cross, multiply, and divide. Before I jump there, I'm going to quickly do this addition. 800 and 250. In my brain, those two values added together is 1,050. So let's quickly do that. All right, so 32% is the same as saying 32 out of 100, because that's what percent means. So I got a fraction over there, and I have a fraction over here. The 800 and the 250 added together to be 1,050, and my income is on the bottom. So for those of you who might have been in my class before, maybe some of your teachers have taught you this one, it's called the fish technique, or the cross, multiply, divide. So I'm going to start at this end and follow the fish around to get that answer over there. And it's multiply, then divide. So it's 1,050 times 100, and then divided by 32. And that's going to be the answer that I'm looking for. Okay? So here we go. 1,050 times 100 divided by 32 is $3,281.25. Okay, So I'll squeeze it on the bottom here, $3,281.25. That's how much money Bob needs to make, or how much money he needs to earn in order to support this mortgage payment and these heating and property taxes together. And then he's maxed out his gross debt service ratio. Another way to solve this kind of problem, again, we have this idea of 32%, okay, and this total here of 1,050. So 32%, remember, is the same as 0.32. That's what it means, okay? So dividing it by 100 or sliding the decimal place twice, I'm just going to put it in its decimal form, is equal to 1050 divided by the thing I don't know. Okay? Well, if we want to use algebra to solve this one, well, this is the item I'm trying to find. So basically what I'd first need to do is move it from the bottom of the fraction to the top. So I'm going to multiply by question mark and multiply by question mark over here. This one cancels with that one. I know, bear with me for a moment. Then I'm going to divide by 0.32 here and divide by 0.32 here, and this one cancels out with that one. Now lots of things have canceled out, but what am I left with when I tidy this up? On the left side of the equal sign I have question mark, the value of the income. I don't know what it is, but it's equal to whatever I have that's left over here. And it's 1,050 divided by 0.32. And what is 1,050 divided by decimal 32? It is 3,281.25. 3,281.25. Okay, so two different techniques. This is more the algebra technique. A lot of people kind of shy away from that one. Maybe you're comfortable with it. It's not a bad idea to try. Okay, another technique is the proportional reasoning, cross multiply divide, or the fish technique. All of those terms mean the same thing. Okay, and a lot of people prefer this one. It looks a little simpler. I like this one. I use it as often as I can. Okay, so what I would suggest you do right now is to pause the video and try the first couple of questions in the assignment, because they fall under either calculating the gross debt service ratio for a particular scenario, or maybe one of the missing parts where you're going to use this technique. You can press pause, try a few of those questions, and then continue the video for example 3. See you in a bit. Hi and welcome back. Hopefully you've had a chance to work through the first 3 questions of assignment number 2, the ones that dealt with the gross debt service ratio. Now we're going to move ahead to example number 3, this idea of the pre-approved mortgage. There are times when you might want to talk to somebody at a financial institution and see, what can I afford? And what they do is they work backwards. They work backwards from the gross debt service ratio. And so if we quickly glance down at that form, maybe that 0.32 or the 32% is an interesting value. We've seen that one with gross debt service ratio, and it also works backwards with the amortization period. And so this form helps you do the calculations backwards. So you'll have this form to work with when you're solving these kinds of things. But I want to work through one scenario here with you so you can use it. You might want to press pause and pull out your amortization table from lesson 1. It might be in your booklet, or you might have a printed page like this, because we're going to use that one in this table as well. So have that one handy. All right, so in this third example, we have Gil, who has saved up $12,500 for a down payment. He has a monthly income, and we're assuming a gross monthly income of $2,800. The bank rate, so we're assuming he's going to take out a mortgage at 7% and amortized over 25 years. And we have estimated property taxes and estimated heating costs as $180 and $125 per month. Now, we're going to use this maximum affordable price worksheet. So here on the left, we have some description, and here on the right, we're going to follow the calculations, okay? So it starts by asking, what is the gross monthly household income? And the monthly household income listed at the top here is $2,800. So we'll quickly jot that in there. What do we do with $2,800? We're going to multiply it by 0.32, which is the same as saying we're going to find 32% of it. So 2,800 times 0.32, and what value does that give us? 896. Okay, so we have a value of 896. What that means is this household, Gil's household, can afford household expenses of $896 every month. If we subtract the anticipated monthly property taxes, so it says subtract, the property taxes were 180 and the heating costs were 125. Now we've got an equal sign again, so we're going to start here with the 896 and subtract to get a new value. So starting with 896, we'll subtract the $180, and we'll also subtract $125, and we got $591 left. Okay, so $591 left is the amount of money every month that Gil's household can use as their mortgage payment, so the monthly mortgage payment possible. Okay, at 32% gross debt service ratio, this is the largest monthly mortgage payment they can afford. So we've kind of deconstructed the gross debt service ratio formula, and now we're going to deconstruct the monthly mortgage payment formula. We're going to go backwards. You might notice that what we're going to do is we're going to multiply it by 1,000, which is the opposite of what we did to find the monthly mortgage payment. So 591. Okay, so we have this answer here, 591 times 1,000, so times 1,000. Oops, I don't think I did that right. 591 times 1,000, okay, gives us a value. And then, oh, I maybe jumped ahead of myself. I maybe jumped ahead of myself. Maybe I'll pause that for a moment and say, divide by interest factor, our chart number. This is where our amortization form comes in handy, amortization table. Well, I'll just leave it as the word amortization for now. Okay, well, what do we know? So we got to, what do we know about amortization? Here it is, 7% and 25 years. So we're going to look across the row of 7%, and we're going to look down the column of 25 years, and let's find that value. That's the value we're going to put in that spot there. Okay, so going to the table, 7% is right there, and this number is 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20, 25 years. So it's the value 7.07. Okay, so just to jot it in here, 7.07, just so that we can show that we've pulled it out of the table. Okay, and this is now 7.07. Okay, so that's where that number comes from. Maybe I'll draw a quick arrow. That's where that number comes from. Okay, now I can do my calculation. So 591 times 1,000 divided by 7.07 is going to give me my maximum affordable mortgage. Okay, so starting again, 591 times 1,000 and then divided by 7.07 gives me a value of $83,592.64. $83,592.64. Okay, that's the maximum affordable mortgage. That's what the line says. So that's the maximum amount of money they can borrow so that they stay within the 32% recommended gross debt service ratio. And given the parameters we have here for property taxes and heating costs, we're almost done. The last thing we need to do is we'll quickly add on the fact that Gil has $12,500 for a down payment ready to go. So to this value, the 83,000 and change, we'll add the 12,500, and we got a $96,092.64. And that's the so to say, the price they need to be looking for in purchasing their home. Okay, so maybe Gil is a single fellow and maybe wants to look at buying a condo. So maybe there's something in that price range on the market. And that's how this form works. So there's a couple more questions in your assignment. I think it's questions numbers 4, and maybe there's a question number 5 as well. You can try working on those questions. Again, if you have any questions and you're unsure of what to do, send us an email and we'll try to help you out. Until next time, bye-bye.